Hello, everybody. Welcome to Parashat vaYechi. Today we're going to ask a very interesting question. How could it be that it says in the Parasha that Yaakov Avinu, his best, his completion, his top that he reached in Egypt. Egypt is Mitzrayim, place of Metzarim veGvulim, limitation. And in that place, Yaakov succeeded to get to the highest level. We're going to understand. Welcome back. Our parsha starts with the pasuk vaYechi Yaakov be'Eretz Mitzrayim 17 shana. And Yaakov lived in Eretz Mitzrayim for 17 years. And Baal HaTurim explained that the best years of Yaakov was the 17 years that he lived in Egypt. So you got to understand this is very simple because he was in Egypt, his son was the viceroy, he had everything he needed. All he had to do is just sit and learn exactly what he requested a few parshas back. But still, how could it be that you call it good when you are in Galus, when you are down in Egypt, not in Eretz Israel? When the Tzemach Tzedek, the Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek was a kid, he learned this explanation and he went back and asked his grandfather, the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneur Zalman Baal HaTanya, how could it be that the best years of Yaakov Avinu, the best of the fathers, were in Egypt? The Rebbe answered him that before he went to Egypt, Yaakov sent Yehuda lehorot lefanav. What does it mean? It means, the Chazal explained, in order to prepare a kollel, a yeshiva, a place where he can learn and say what's the Torah's opinion on various matters. When you learn Torah, you come close to Hashem. You know, it says Anochi. Anochi is Anna Nafshi Ktavit Yahavit, meaning the Eibishter says, I put myself inside the Torah. All the infinite, which is the Eibishter, is in the Torah. So when you read the words of Torah, you basically utter the names of Hashem. You basically connect with Hashem in the deepest levels. So he says that we learn Torah, you come close to Hashem, and you can live the real life, even in Egypt, even in Ervat Haaretz, the place that is the lowest and the most grub of all the places in the world. It doesn't matter. There is a saying that the Rebbe says, Machen du Eretz Israel, meaning in Yiddish translation, it means make here Eretz Israel. It doesn't matter where you are geographically, but any place that you are there and you are learning Torah and connect to Hashem, you are in Eretz Israel at that moment. And therefore, when Yaakov went to Egypt, he makes there Eretz Israel. He sat there and learned and connected to Hashem in the highest levels. We have to also explain the question, the answer in a deeper way. The whole purpose of man in this world is to work on elevating himself above all limitation of this world, and then to get to cleave to the infinite. Egypt represents exactly the opposite. We try to get out of all limitation. We try to get one with infinite, and Egypt, Metzarim, Gulim, Egypt, which represent limitations and define things, then over there, it's exactly the opposite. So how could it be that in a place where there is limitations and there is less light of Hashem, a revelation of Hashem, over there, Yaakov is getting to this high level? So the answer is that when you are connected with the Torah, a person get the strength to get to cleave in the Eibishter, even in Egypt, because the Torah is rooted in the Eibishter himself. It has infinite power, unlimited power, and that's why it can overcome even the limitation of Egypt, until that it has the strength to act, that even in Egypt, a Jew can get to perfection. But apparently, the Rebbe didn't give a full answer to the question of his grandson. The question was, how could it be that specifically in Egypt, Yaakov reached this top level? And he explained that through Torah, you can live wholesome life, even in Egypt. The explanation is that this is the power of turning darkness into light. Then you get to a special advantage, the advantage of light that comes from the darkness. The disadvantage that comes from turning darkness into light is when a Jew still stuck to Hashem, still cleave to Hashem, even in Egypt. And then something interesting happens. It happens the turning of darkness into light. And through that, you get to the highest level, more than the light from the light itself. Everybody knows that when you want to get to physical achievements or any other achievements, you have to challenge yourself. When you lift weights, you have resistant training. Then you make your muscle grow. When you are encountering all kind of riddles and crossword puzzles and chess, all those things make your mind sharper. And when you are not challenged and you are not doing anything of significance difficulty, then what happens is you get weaker. So Dafka, when you're in Egypt, when you have these limitations and you try to overcome with this limitation, you can reach the highest levels. This answer was given to the child only in a hint, not explicit, because here we're talking about the beginning of education. It was just a child. And there is no place for a child to think about how to turn darkness into light. A child needs to know that darkness is something bad and you have to run away from it. And after he's growing and get experience, then he learned that after that if he after that came to a dangerous place and still stood in this test, then he reaches to the advantage of the light that comes from the darkness. But it's not a matter for a child, because in the beginning, from the beginning, you're not allowed to go into a place of danger. That's one of the things that I think it's Masechet Brachot, that Eliyahu Hanavi was revealed to a Tana that went to a destroyed place and just to daven. And when he came out, Eliyahu Hanavi wasn't so happy about it, and he told him, and he says, I learned from Eliyahu a few things. One of them, when you're on the road, you have to have a short davening, and also that not to daven in a place that there is sakana, like a place that is deserted. So you have the requirement not to go in a place that's going to put you in danger in the first place. And this is also an instruction that's hidden in the words of the Rebbe, that if, God forbid, a person will sin and fell under the limitation of Egypt, he mustn't say despair. He mustn't despair. He mustn't give up. You have to stand strong in this test, and then he could turn this limitation, turn this Mitzrayim itself into an advantage, into light. And this is the light that truly will bring us to the Geulah. Thank you very much for tuning in. As usual, I'm going to try to put every week a new video. Please like the video, subscribe, and tell others about the channel. Thank you very much. Have a great week.